First, I'd like to thank the subcommittee for inviting me. As you say, my name is Stephen Camarota. I am Director of Research at the Center for Immigration Studies. My testimony today will focus on the impact of illegal immigration on housing, public coffers, and American workers. But let me first turn to the unprecedented scale of recent illegal immigration. House Judiciary just last month reported that 5.6 million illegal immigrants have been released into the country since January of 2021. These are all inadmissible aliens and under various categories. There has also been 1.7 million gotaways at the border in fiscal year 2021 to 2023. We don't know what it is for 2024. These are all people observed entering illegally but not stopped. Visa overstays also appear to be at record levels, but we don't have all the data. Now, all of these numbers represent new additions to the illegal immigrant population. But of course, mortality, outmigration, and legalizations each year offset these numbers to some extent. Still, I conservatively estimate that the illegal immigrant population has grown by 4 million since January of 2021, based on data collected by the Census Bureau. This is almost certainly the fastest it's ever grown. All this immigration, all this illegal immigration has consequences. Turning first to housing, prior research shows that by increasing demand, immigration drives up cost for housing. My own analysis suggests that a 5 percentage point increase in the share of a community comprised of recent immigrants will cause a 12% increase in what the average U.S.-born household pays in rent. Bottom line, this influx has impacted housing. Turning to the fiscal impact, using estimates developed by the National Academy of Sciences, we calculate that the lifetime fiscal drain, considering all the taxes an illegal immigrant may pay and all the services and costs they would create, is about $68,000 per illegal immigrant, or if you like, $68 billion for each 1 million illegal immigrants. This drain is primarily due to the modest education levels of most illegal immigrants. An estimated 79% have no education beyond high school, which is about double the share of the U.S. born. This results in low average incomes, tax payments, and along with a significant amount of use of public services, including welfare programs, which they often receive on behalf of the U.S.-born children. But this drain is not because illegal immigrants are lazy. It is not because they all came for welfare. Most illegal immigrants, in fact, work. Rather, it simply reflects what happens when you add large numbers of less educated people who have modest incomes to a modern economy that spends a lot on social services. Finally, let me touch on the labor market. First, the idea that illegal immigrants only do jobs that Americans don't want is false. Of the 474 occupations as defined by the Department of Commerce, only 6 are majority immigrant, and we could find none that look to be majority illegal immigrant. There's good evidence that immigration, by increasing the supply of workers, reduces wages and employment for some American workers, though distinguishing the impact between legal and illegal is always challenging. But perhaps the most important thing to think about is this immigration is occurring in the context of the well-documented long-term decline, increase in the share of working-class U.S.-born men not in the labor force. And they don't show up as unemployed because they're not actively looking for work. Let me give you one example. About 1 out of 9 U.S.-born men, 16 to 64, with no education beyond high school, was not in the labor force in 1960. By 2000, it was 1 out of 4. Today, of these working-age men, it's about 1 out of 3. Job competition with illegal immigrants is only part of the reason for this. However, tolerating large-scale illegal immigration has allowed employers and, frankly, policymakers to ignore this huge social problem. After all, why care about all the working-age Americans on the economic sidelines if we can just hire eager immigrants? But the huge increase in American men not in the labor force is linked to significant social problems, from drug overdose deaths to crime to suicide and alcoholism. reducing illegal immigration would help force the country to deal with this huge problem in our labor market. Thank you.